Canada, often known for its good education, good health care, among the world leaders, among the G5. I mean, so many people out there, they want to come to Canada because of the glory of Canada, because Canada as a country is a dream for so many people out there. But the question now is that, is it really worth it coming to Canada in recent times now because of all these rules from immigration, the state of the economy, and lots more? So in this episode today, I will be dissecting whether it's actually worth coming to Canada this present time. That's what I'll be dissecting in this video, and I need you to watch this video till the end because I'll be giving you my own opinion, and I'd love to read your own opinion on this likewise. So I'm going to stay tuned. I will be back. Okay, viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. This is Canada Reality, where I dish out content for those that are already in Canada and those that have aspiration of migrating to Canada. Is this your first time on this YouTube channel? Please do me the honor, hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so that anytime I drop a video, you always be among the first to get it. For our returning viewers, kudos to you. Thank you very much for believing in us. Alright, just like I stated in the introduction that, and just like the heading stated, is it really worth coming to Canada now? I mean, is it really worth it? And I will be giving you the reason for my own opinion. So please, I need you to watch this video till the end before you crucify me, because so many people out there, I know you want to just jump into conclusion without watching the video. I will hear my own opinion, and likewise I want to know your own opinion in the comment section. My own opinion will be based on the following points, which I will be dissecting. Alright, first I will be starting on the immigration perspective. While I feel this might not be a good time for people out there that wants to come into Canada, this might not be a good time. Alright, so let's talk about immigration. The immigration policy in the last 1 year has been stricter now. The immigration minister, like, frequently we see him coming online to come and give us the latest updates regarding immigration. We see the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, coming to tell us about the slash in the immigration for the next 3 years and the rest of it. So as a result of this is not a good time. This is not a palatable time for people that want to come to Canada to do that now. Let's take, for instance, regarding international students. I can remember from the beginning of this year, January 25, they started with the policy stating that international students, if you're coming for college, you can't bring your spouse. If you're coming for masters, you need to do a minimum of 6 months program before you are entitled to 3 years postgraduate work permit. So many rules here and there regarding the number of international students, the number of temporary residents they will be welcoming for this year, for next year, 2026 and 2027. And most recently, the immigration minister came to tell us that they will be slashing the Prime Minister rather came to tell us that they will be slashing the number of temporary residents for the next 3 years, and likewise the number of permanent residents for the next 3 years. So what's now the point for you to say you want to come into Canada, especially if you are married, you want to come into Canada, you want to spend that huge money, you want to come for your college education, and you're not sure if you'll be getting your postgraduate work permit? Because now they've stated now that it's not just a matter of program you do. You need to do the program that are in demand in the economy for you to be entitled to postgraduate work permit. So I already done a video on that. If you have not seen that, please go to my playlist and you can see that video. So with all these draconian laws that have been made by the Liberal government, is it really worth it to come into Canada, not just as an international student? Even if you want to come as a temporary foreign worker, there are also rules regarding LMIA. LMIA will not just be dished out to people just the way they do it in the past. Now there are rules and guidelines that needs to be followed. And likewise, so if you want to come in on a visitor's visa, it's not just at a bell and call now. They are trying to slash the number of temporary visa they grant. So in as much as you do not want to waste your application money, the processing time now is longer now. So many things have been tightened up now because the government of the day is saying that they need to cater for the people that are in Canada as against bringing in more people from outside Canada. So these rules regarding immigration, I feel this might not be a good time to come to Canada, to apply to come to Canada, because things are actually tough when it comes to immigration in Canada presently. I really want to hear your opinion regarding this immigration plan. Another very salient reason why I feel this might not be a good time for people out there that wants to come to Canada, this might not be a good time, because another reason would be because of the economic challenges. The economic challenges in Canada now, in the world right now, is not smiling. I mean, it is glaring, it's globally all over the world, and we in Canada, we are also facing the same economic challenges. Don't forget that during the COVID-19 period, so many countries, we're in recession. They had one problem or the other, high inflation rate and so many things. And post COVID, the economy is trying to recover. Likewise to the economy of Canada has not fully recovered, but things are actually glaring up. But as a result of these two, so many things are very expensive. Housing is expensive, food is expensive. People in Canada are actually complaining of huge cost of living. The cost of living is very huge, is very exorbitant. That the cost of getting a house, the cost of feeding, the cost of school fees and the rest of it, it's above the roof. It's like we've never seen it before. So people are already in Canada, they are agitated, they are offended, they feel so livid with the government of the day. The government of the day is trying to save its head because people can't wait for next year, probably for another election, probably to send this government packing. So the economic challenge in the world, in Canada, is so huge that the government of the day is trying to salvage itself by trying to ameliorate the stress, the cost of living, the difficulties that people in Canada are facing, and as a result of that, they actually have less time to bring in more people, because people out there are actually complaining that the government of the day needs to take care of we that we are in Canada, as against adding more problem by bringing more people. No house, no food, cost of living is above the roof. Why bring in more people when you have people in Canada to fend for? Another reason, which will be the third reason why I feel coming to Canada now will not be a good thing, is because of the high unemployment in Canada presently. I can tell you for a truth that unemployment in Canada is huge now, especially after the pandemic. I mean, so many companies are folding up. I mean, so many companies have not actually recovered from the pandemic. So they are laying off workers. I mean, now that people are doing more remote now, companies are trying to cut their costs. And because of the situation of the economy globally in Canada, companies are trying to do their balancing. So as a result of that, unemployment is actually on the high in Canada, both for white collar jobs and blue collar jobs. So I can tell you of a truth that if you feel you want to come to Canada now to come for work, so many people will call and say, oh, I want to come and work in Canada. To be sincere with you, even we that we are in Canada, we are actually battling getting employment, getting a proper employment to feed your family. Talk more of bringing people from outside Canada. So I can tell you of a truth that there are so many immigrants that are in Canada now. They are certified, they are professionals from whatever countries they're coming from. But when they come into Canada, because of lack of employment, because there are no jobs, they end up doing menial jobs because they need to fend for themselves, and likewise they need to fend for their families. And likewise too, when you go to the LMI job, government now, they've discovered that there are so many discrepancies that are happening in the LMI aspect of our immigration pathway, whereby temporary worker, they come into Canada and a particular organization do their paperwork for them. Now government of the day now, they've shined their light on this particular pathway, and they're trying to mitigate the corruption, the malpractices that are happening in this pathway. So now, of a truth, I can tell you that jobs in Canada now, people that are in Canada now, international students, PR, citizen, temporary foreign workers, they are finding it hard to get a job. And because of the cost of living, some people are actually looking for second jobs, third jobs. They can't actually find it. And because of that, situation is so pathetic that I do not think that you want to come into Canada now as a temporary foreign resident, as a temporary foreign worker, and you want to come to Canada now. Canada is not even going to even give you that in the first place, except you have a very genuine pathway, you've crossed your T's, you've dot your I's, and they feel that you are actually going to contribute to the development of the economy. So that's another pathway, this is another reason why I feel that coming to Canada now might not really be a good thing, because unemployment in Canada, if you come to Canada now as an international student, you want to work at a point. If you come in as a temporary foreign worker, you want to work at a point, but there are no jobs. So how will you cope? Another reason why I feel coming to Canada now, you have to think about it. I mean, it depends on how you see this anyway. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but I'm just trying to lay the fact out there for you. So let me know what you think in the comment section. If you look at the climate of Canada now, you need to actually think about it before you come into Canada. This is not me scaring you, but this is just to let you know that in Canada, cold is real, irrespective of your province that you are. It depends anyway, the gravity depends on the province you are, but irrespective of the province, as long as you're in Canada, winter is real. And when it's winter, it's cold, you have to deal with snow, you have to deal with the ash weather, Are you prepared for this? So this is something you need to know out there, because so many people dish out videos, they do not let you know that these are the challenges that you have to face. Since so many people come in from Africa where there's no snow, they come into Canada, they back out after a few months, they cannot cope, probably because they're sick, they have to return back to their home country. So the weather is so harsh when it comes to, when it's starting from September ending to October up until April the following year is winter period. We are battling with harsh weather. You have to put on your jacket, you have to clear snow, you have to walk in snow. It is what it is, and it has been like that, and I don't think there's ever going to be a year where there won't be winter. It has been like that time immemorial, and it will continue to be like that. Summer period where you enjoy yourself, you have to put on a nice shirt. Sometimes you might not even put on the shirt. Will be sometime from May up until early September. Few months you might want to say, but that is the reality of things. If you go to the prairie like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, where it is even colder, Yukon, you might even find it very tough there, because sometimes it goes to as much as -40, -50 in this area. So you need to let yourself, prepare yourself. If you want to come, I'm not discouraging you from coming, but you need to know about this. You need to know where you are going, which province is preferable for you. If you are coming with your family, you need to consider the children in order for you to determine the particular province that's going to be suitable for you. Another reason why I feel coming to Canada is not now. I mean, you might decide to come in later after some few years, but not now, is because of the housing problem. I already gave an hint about this, but I'm going to elaborate more in this section. Housing infrastructure is on a stretch. The population of Canada now is so tremendous. Post-COVID, I mean, there's a huge number of people that have come into Canada in the last 3 to 5 years, as against the number of infrastructures that have been provided by the government. I remember after COVID, there were a huge number of international students within my community relative to the number of accommodations that were available for them. And likewise, generally in Canada, it was the same thing. And that was why the immigration minister, coupled with the prime minister, came in to slash the number of all those policies regarding immigration, trying to slash the number of temporary residents and also permanent residents into Canada for the next 3 years, because government of the day have discovered that the infrastructures, the facilities are being overstretched. There are more people coming into Canada and there are limited resources. I'm talking about housing, few houses, and as a result of that, all landlords, house owners are taking advantage. They are increasing the rent of houses. Bank is also increasing the mortgage just because they know that the demand is higher than the supply. Talking about transportation, that's not an exemption, because there's a huge demand for transportation as against the available resources. That aspect is also being overstretched. So looking at this menace, looking at this trouble, this might not be a good time for you to come into Canada. You might want to say I'm discouraging you. I am not discouraging you. And also you might also want to say that I am here, I'm not leaving. Yes, maybe because I'm already used to the terrain already. And also when I came in here, things were a little better. I've been in Canada for the last 10 years now. And when I came in, I mean, if you lose this job today, you can decide to get another job tomorrow. Many jobs are even the easiest when we were in school in those days. I mean, even when I finished, I was able to get a job, into a white-collar job, within 3 months of finishing my study. But now it is not the case. There are so many international students now that they finish their 1-year program or 3 years program, and when they apply for their postgraduate work permit, 1 year or 3 years as the case is, they can still find a job. And some of them, their postgraduate work permit is done and dusted. They cannot still accumulate a 1-year job to entitle them to applying for Canadian Experience Class. It is that bad. Alright viewers, just like I've stated in the beginning of this video that this might not be a good time for you to come into Canada. The reason are not far-fetched. I already gave you a reason why I feel this might not be a good time. I already told you about the immigration system in Canada now. They are trying to reduce it to the barest minimum. Canada's government is trying to focus on people that are in Canada as against welcoming more people. I spoke to you about the climate. It's not really palatable, and it has never been palatable. And also I told you about the infrastructure, the stretch in the infrastructures, all these things, and lack of jobs too. I also mentioned that. All these and many more are the reason why I feel coming to Canada now might not be a good reason, good option now. I don't want you to waste your application because there might be a huge rejection. And the rejection, when you get those rejection, you might feel agitated, you might feel not so happy, you might feel it's because you have not crossed your T's and dot your I's, but that might not be the case. Your application might still be okay, but the reason for the rejection could be because all these policies of the government presently. So I will say, if I'm going to suggest to you, that you should just hang on tight for another 1 year, 1.5 years, have a plan, so that in a year or 2 years time maximum, you start relaunching your career, your plan rather, to come into Canada. But coming now, it's a no, because the rejection is still on the high side. Okay, viewers, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you feel this is a good time to come into Canada, let me hear your view. I'm open to hearing your own view also. If you feel what I've said doesn't make any sense, let me know. Let me hear your own view too, because I will read it and I might also learn from that. So if you enjoy this video, please smash on the likes button. Please share this video to whoever you feel wants to come into Canada now and is thinking of how he or she wants to do it. Share this video with them. Till I come back to you on the next episode. Stay blessed. Peace out.